everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Misadventures of the Accidental Travelers, put on by Irrational Radio. I am, of course, joined by Mr. E and Miss Just My Luck, also known as Eric and Rachel. They are right now trying to get their very sick halfling friend to some kind of medical attention in the city of Nail because he has been bitten by a werebear. You were able to kill the werebear and defend the druid's sheep, taking only, 2-3 sheep losses, I think. I think it was pretty good. One was used as a distraction, and the other one just got killed as like kind of a red-shirted sheep. I had to show that the werebear could kill a sheep in a single swipe. And it did well, but they were able to keep the sheep losses down low. Of course, it turned out to be all a trap set by Sprig trying to kill the Ochre Echo, as her dad was cursed with this bear lycanthropy from the leader of a group of assassins that the Ochre Echo wounded in some way in the past. And it wasn't this Ochre Echo, it was the last Ochre Echo, the one before this one, who he is now. Yeah. So, while fighting that werebear to defend a druid named CD's sheep, our good friend Jeffrey Adamson, also the cursed halfling NPC, came down with a bad case of werebear bite. And so now he is pale and shivering and feverish as you're bringing him back into the city. It is getting to be nighttime as you guys were doing Sheedy's sheep for most of the day today. You left both the body of the werebear, CD, and Sprig at the field. She basically admitted everything to you guys, and you were like, oh well, fuck you then.
We killed your dad, so I guess
Right.
it's, fair is fair.
Kind of even. So we'll begin as you guys are approaching Nail. You come over a hill and you see the city lights below. Jeffrey doubles up and throws up all over himself. I really don't feel very good.
Yeah, we know. Look, we're working on it. If you could just hold your bodily fluids inside of you, that would be great.
I'm sorry, Annabelle. I think some got on your back.
Oh,
As
yeah,
you're carrying
I can
him
feel
over.
it, actually.
Yeah.
One thing I wanted to clarify real quick.
Right.
I'm sorry, I don't mean to totally derail here.
No.
So that was a midday lycanthrope attack, was it not?
Yes, it
or,
was.
I mean, at least daytime.
Yep.
Is that abnormal in Paralandia?
It is
like
abnormal
is it
in
moon
Paralandia.
only thing?
Most were creatures in Paralandia do follow normal rules. But of course, being as it's Paralandia, there are aberrations run around all over the place. Yes. But to you guys, that would be strange. Yeah, especially now that you've gotten
That's
a
something
little bit
I thought
to think
about last session, but I didn't really remember to bring up at the time. And then, it just came back up. I was like, oh, crap.
No, that's a good point. I didn't even think about that.
So you were going to ask us which one of us was doing something.
Yes. Who's got the plant? I don't remember who's got Wayman's stocks. Little backstory, we had a party member who could not continue to make our sessions, and so our good wild magic halfling sorcerer has turned him into a potted plant for the time being.
Unable to
I think I had Jeffrey thrown over my shoulder, and then I was carrying the potted plant in the other arm.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Because I just was done with the madness and walked away.
Yep. So yes, Jeffrey still has the staff that is fused to his hand, his left hand. He cannot let it go. And his right hand is still, missing. So you guys, head into town. You were told by CD the Druid that there was someone here who could help cure him, but you were not given a name.
Did he maybe mention whereabouts we could find this person?
I feel like we got a general lead, but I don't remember anything specific.
Not necessarily. Just that, somebody could cure him that lived within the city of Nail. Of course, there are many people still out and about. I guess not many, as it's sort of evening time. So there are guards and people that are packing up and going home for the day. But
Okay.
yeah.
I'm just gonna go up to one of the guards and be like, "Do you know where we can cure a werebear bite?"
He turns kind of surprised and goes, "A werebear bite? Are you
Yeah.
sure?"
Oh, I'm very sure.
Moderately certain. Certain, yes. I mean, it was during the day, but it seemed to be a shapeshifter of some variety, and he is quite sick now. His gestures
He kind of
vaguely
waves a
indicate.
weak hand over Annabelle's shoulder. The guard looks worried and says, "It might be the Asarius curse."
That sounds especially awful. Can you perhaps elucidate us a bit further on what it is that you're referring to with that curse?
It was an old warrior, retiring, lived outside of Nail. He was plowing a field and found a skull. It looked like the skull of some kind of bear. And while picking it up and examining it, he got scratched by one of their teeth. And within hours, he turned into a beast that could hunt during both the day and the night, and had no control over its form.
Yeah, we can't have that happen. So if you know where we can go to cure it, I'd love that information.
You should take him to Rickety Black.
And that's
is that a
He
person
Yes,
or a place?
he is a practitioner of the unseen arts that lives outside of town, just to the northwest. Cardinal directions are hard. Can't miss it.
Certainly. And is there no one else in town who would be well suited to manage this ailment?
No. It's not a normal lycanthropy curse. Black is connected to the family that it originally was involved with.
Oh, good.
Well, you've been extremely helpful. I really appreciate it. As you can imagine, we're in a bit of a hurry. I've got some vomit kind of strolling down my back. Have a good one.
That stinks a lot.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's bad.
it is unpleasant. Thank you for your assistance. Yes, we head on.
Of course. One more thing. If he does turn in the town, in city limits, we will have no choice but to terminate him.
Yeah,
That,
that
I
seems
mean,
fair.
it's perhaps not an especially great look. Should it come to that, we understand the need. But
He nods gravely. Good.
Yeah.
If you find yourself in the military district, drop me a good review. I'm guard 5547.
We'll do that.
Absolutely.
Thank you. If you could just...
Bye. We're leaving now.
Okay, all right. Goes back to his post. You feel
Absolutely
that Jeffrey...
don't plan on doing it. It's a 28 deception, though. It's believable.
Jeffrey does what now?
Sorry, I gotta fix my... There we go. I had to fix my roll 20 there.
Oh, screen went wonky.
Yep, that's what I fixed real quick.
So it goes.
Yep. I forgot how to set my stuff up for a hot second. You feel that Jeffrey has begun to get more feverish, and his pulse has begun to quicken. He starts just moaning. Oh.
Jeez. I'm gonna start jogging across town.
Echo's gonna keep an extra couple paces between him and Annabelle as she picks up speed.
She's just to paint the picture. So you are a very large woman running through town, at the outside of town, carrying what looks to be a very large ficus in one hand and a halfling on the other shoulder vomit is running down your back right now. And you're also pretty beat up. Like you were in a fight. You took some damage.
I fought a bear.
You wrestled a bear man, in fact.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Not even just a regular bear.
So you are running through town, and a couple of guards basically hail you as you're running and go, "Hey, halt, halt! What
Keep
is all
going.
this?"
I will talk with them. He's gonna kind of just like gesture her along. He's
Yeah,
just,
she's gonna.
Okay.
She'll
then
like
he'll-
fucking blast right through him.
Echo will just stop and say, "It is of the utmost importance that we get our friend to the healer as soon as possible. I assure you. We mean the town no harm, but it is a very dangerous illness which he faces."
Well, that may be, but there are town ordinances. There are to be no
We are outside the town, as I understand, correct?
Well, you're outside the walls, yes, but that town ordinances still apply within 2.5 miles of the walls.
She made it to the place yet? Because he'll keep this up by all means.
They're going to give you a ticket for 2 silver, for not having an unsecured load. The ficus needs to be tied down with something.
That is unreasonable. What if a person is just walking down the street? I will not. You will see me in your courts.
Well, very well. He hands you the ticket. Annabelle, you reach, after maybe a good 10 minutes of running, you reach the house of Rickety Black. It is a, not necessarily small, but pretty ramshackle affair built along the side of the town. The windows are crooked, and the door doesn't quite close all the way. There is a
Okay.
fire going on inside, like in the hearth, of course.
I'm gonna walk up to the door. I'm just gonna kick it open and just go, halfling, werebear, bite, help, and like throw him on the ground.
A very surprised man in a gray cloak jumps up from his little meal of soup and bread, knocking his stew onto the floor. He goes, What is all this? What? You just coming in here throwing halflings on the floor?"
She's like bent over, breathing real hard. She goes,
Oh, was he bitten?
yeah, werebear, right in the neck. It's bad.
He nods and goes, "Oh, this is, well, you were right by to come bring him to me," and begins to put things into a pestle from a shelf of herbs along the side and grind them up, muttering to himself. You see that Jeffrey is beginning to grow, like goosebumps on his skin. Like his skin is starting to break out in goosebumps. But they are the biggest goosebumps you've ever seen. Like they're making his skin look like rigidy and bumpy, like the surface of a basketball.
That's kind of gross.
Oh, Tilly. Where's Tilly?
She's not here, bud. She's back in Flavortown.
Oh no, I think I can see her. Oh.
You should not go towards her. You should just stay here.
He nods weakly. The man in the gray cloak comes over and kneels down and begins taking a small spoon and wafting it under Jeffrey's nose. He takes a big whiff and then and he sneezes, and as he sneezes, some of the raised goosebumps on his arm begin to subside. Well, that should hold it off for just a little bit, but I'm going to need some bone grass if I am to complete this.
Some bone what?
Bone grass. It is native to the east of here, in the highlands.
All right. How much of it do you need?
Not very much. Only a few handfuls.
Is there anything else before we go? And then I come back, and then you're like, oh, yeah, there's something else.
Oh, there is something else. You got to take the halfling with you.
What?
Right, if he turns in town, the gods are gonna put him down.
Well, you've got like a wagon or something. I can't keep carrying him.
Uh, do I look like a warlock that's got wagons coming out of his ears?
Well, I mean, you are sort of magic, aren't you?
Oh, so I've got magic wagons now, have I?
Look, if you ain't got a wagon, that's fine, but do you know where I could get one at least?
Oh, yeah. A wagon at what? 11 o'clock at night?
I mean, I'm not opposed to just leaving gold down and like taking a wagon. I mean, I'm sure they don't have them like locked up in some sort of glass box, do they?
At this point, Ochre Echo, you have made it to the house of Rickety Black. Now
Is
who?
he cured?
Oh, no. Who are you now?
I am the Ochre Echo, protector of the people and defender of the downtrodden.
Oh, right.
Did
You're
I
that
interrupt
bloke who messed up the black guy's face.
Perhaps, I suppose. I am not especially certain what
Well,
it is you are referring to.
What's his name? Eris. That's right.
Yes, I have a history with him of some note, you might say.
Right. Well, your friend here, he's gonna be a very small, very angry werebear here in maybe 4 or 5 hours.
Oh,
Well, you gotta get some bone grass.
So what do we do with the bone grass once we've got it? Do we have to
Right.
drag him back here to you, or
Right. Well, I would suggest dragging him exactly 2.5 miles before the walls, and then coming and getting me, and we'll do it all just outside of town.
getting a lot of cardio in today? We've got to take him with us to go out and get this grass, but I don't know if I can keep carrying him like this.
it
There's
will
got to
certainly
be.
slow our efforts down considerably. If we have several hours, could we not venture out and be back in short order?
Listen, I don't want him in here.
You ain't got like a basement or something we could like tie him up in.
All right. I see how it is. I don't have a basement, but I have a dry well.
I think it's gonna be much faster if we don't have to carry a halfling. Or a potted plant, really. No.
Yes,
Yeah,
or make
what is
several
the
extra trips.
what is the story with the ficus?
He's a really close friend, actually. He's probably in a lot of pain right now. He hasn't had any water in a while.
A
So
goat ate part of it, or a sheep, I suppose it was, ate a bit of him earlier.
he's probably like
But
missing an ear now.
Uh-huh.
He accidentally turned him into a potted plant. It's a long story. I don't really have time to go into it right now.
we will. So, do you have any more specific direction for us for this bone grass?
It grows in the shade of trees that are lit by the moon.
All right. Annabelle like writes that down on a piece of paper.
Now, a
Is
little
there
less
anywhere around here that
esoteric
fits
way
the-
of saying that is that it grows on eastern facing slopes.
Okay.
Right.
Okie doke.
Well, we're just gonna tie him up in the well, I suppose, with his ficus friend, and then we'll be on the way.
You're gonna
I
put
mean,
the
the plants
ficus
can't
in the
stay in
well
here,
too.
right? That is perhaps not necessary. It could
Right.
stay out here.
Maybe next to it.
There is little danger of. Okay, I suppose.
No, you can
there
leave
is
the
more-
potted plant in my living room. That's fine.
It could
Okay.
perhaps do with a bit of water.
You're
Yeah.
awfully needy bunch for coming in and interrupting my dinner.
I-
Yeah,
You're providing care to the citizenry is more or less your vocation, is it not?
Right. I should really put hours on the front door, haven't I?
Doctors rarely get to choose their hours.
Hmm. At least not the bad ones. Well, you got a job to do, don't you?
Yes, it appears we do. And I suppose, yeah, if we're done tying up Jeffrey, go plunk him
Yep.
down the well and head off, I suppose.
All right.
You say the east of
Yep.
town?
Yep. Northeast of town. Yep. Towards the
Okay.
Highlands. All right. So yeah, you guys head off. It is night. So I'm going to need someone to guide, and then you guys are going to have to roll a nature check. So a survival check and then a nature check.
I'm gonna follow the Ochre Echo here. I'm not super great at cardinal directions.
Alrighty, I guess I will. He's gonna give himself guidance and go ahead and do the deed.
All right.
Not good.
All right.
Oh no.
That's a little better. Nice. All right. So you guys venture out into the night, heading in the Ochre Echo's generally accepted direction. It takes you a while to finally find some bone grass. So how long are you guys gonna just look until you find some, I suppose?
I mean, we can't
Yeah.
help him without it, right?
Right, yeah,
That was the
exactly.
impression we were given.
Yep,
So,
yep.
I mean, pressure's on once we get down to like an hour or two
Right.
from the 4 hour window we were given. But
Okay.
until then, it's just probably looking until we find it, I
Yep.
imagine.
All right. Well, unfortunately, you did not make the DC on that survival check to head basically towards the general area that he was pointing. So it's going to take you guys a little bit longer to find the grass than otherwise. So at about the 3.5 hour mark, you guys finally find some bone grass. It is, yeah, on the east facing sides of this of a large hill that's a few miles outside of town. Um, so it's gonna take one more survival check to get you back to town without getting lost in the dark. But you do find this grass. It is a waist high, very thin grass. It's incredibly thin. It's almost like threaded, almost like thread. Um, and it kind of glitters in the moonlight. And near the stalks, it's a dark grayish color. Gathering it up, it kind of crumbles, but the stalks stay together. With the 18, you are able to make a beeline back to town, and as 4 hours pass, you guys are getting back into the area that you need to be.
Make our way back.
You arrive at the house of Rickety Blag to see that he has capped the well, and he is sitting on it, with his arms crossed. The plant is next to the well.
We're
Is-
back.
Has he turned into a bear yet?
Right. So, your friend's a bear.
Great.
Is he still curable at this point?
Yep. It's just gonna take a little bit more work.
Well, I've wrestled one werebear today. I suppose I could wrestle another one.
I figure we should just wait for him to not be a werebear anymore.
Yeah, I
Right.
suppose we could. It could take a while. I mean, definitely at least all night.
Right.
Right, but if it's that or wrestle a bear, I mean, good
Well,
night's rest.
it's where
Bear
that's
wrestle.
where it gets complicated. See, he's got what we call the Curse of Eucerius. It is a rare form of where lycanthropy curses, and that was really southern. I yeah, it kind of kind of goes along with this. I'm practicing with this accent, so all right. So it is rare, and it once they turn, the only way that they will revert back to human is by consuming living flesh, humanoid flesh.
That seems incredibly counterintuitive.
Right.
So you're saying that he's going to stay like this until we feed him some sort of human flesh?
Right. Or he dies.
And does this, I guess, like, how living are we talking? Like, could we ostensibly chop a piece off and feed it to him, or would it have to be him biting us and infecting us?
No. It's got to be a certain volume of living meat. And yeah, if you've got 12, 13 people willing to offer up an arm, I think we could get him back to his halfling self. Otherwise, 2, maybe 3 adult humanoids ought to do it. I had a plan that doesn't involve feeding monster people. If you want to hear
If that is an option, yes.
Right.
Yeah, I'd like to hear that option, please.
See, you seem capable, as in you got fancy swords, or you got fancy clothes at least. I don't actually see any swords on any of you. But if you can reduce this bear, and he taps the top, to 0 HP, I can revivify him, and the curse will be staved off for a few more hours. And in that intervening time, I can return him back to his uncursed form.
I should have perhaps guessed that the solution was killing him and bringing him back. That seems to be a pretty recurring theme. He sure
Right,
has.
I feel like we've been down this road before. I was
Yes.
just about to ask
Women
you.
got eaten by a zombie.
You
Gestures
see,
toward the plant.
when you combine curses that are of living connected into a setting where things like resurrection and revivify are very common, that is a common way of getting rid of curses. You you die and the curse goes on, and then you're back and curse is gone.
No, I just meant personally. I have not, like, it has been a recent thing which has occurred with me and my. No.
Right.
It's like, I understand that this is the nature of magic, but it should not have taken me so long to get to this conclusion, I suppose. If you are able to bring him back from the dead, we should have just probably
Well,
started
I'm
with
a reasonably powerful necromancer myself, warlock.
Perhaps we should just. Well, is there another solution which is more permanent than just sort of staving it off, as you were
Right.
speaking?
No. See, once you have reduced him to 0 and I am able to bring him back, then I can perform the ritual on his form with the bone grass that you have so helpfully provided me.
Sure. And let us say, for the sake of argument, that he is perhaps inhabited by 1 or 2 ancient evil entities, using him as sort of like a vessel through which they can sort of see a small piece of the world, and had some likelihood of, like, taking over his corporeal form. Do you think it would still be likely that you would, like, return control of this body back to Jeffrey?
He looks at you for a long time.
He's, of course, hypothetical.
That's an excellent point. I'm gonna cross my arms and
hypothetical.
That's a good thought, Ochre Echo. Good question.
All right, let me get this straight. So you have a halfling in a well right now. That's a bear, right? And hypothetically has two what spirits, eldritch monstrosities.
Sure, that is an effective descriptor for this hypothetical.
Right, living inside of him. And then you have another party member here, and he taps the ficus.
Yeah, it's
Well,
Wayman.
I can't help but notice that traveling with either one or you two comes with some consequences.
As come with all decisions in life.
Right,
Um,
right.
Yeah, I mean, whatever you do, there's going to be things that happen, and these are things that have happened to us, and we got to keep going.
Right. Well, let's see if we can't at least get the bear part of your halfling's very complicated existence solved for him.
Yeah, he's had like a really rough life, actually.
yes, it seems the fate has peaked on him in some way. But perhaps there is well, could we just perhaps like wait until he is exhausted or something and then bind him? He's still bound, is he not?
Oh, he is no longer bound. No. He has broken those ropes. I think he is asleep now. He did some ranting and roaring, but he got, I think, tucked out.
Do you know how long it would take for this sort of what you call it here? The this current transformation might wear off.
Not until he's eaten a certain amount of living flesh. Right, we
Oh.
went over this.
No, you said that would like cure him completely.
Oh,
was my
no,
understanding.
no. See, what I need to cure him is him not to be a bear anymore.
Right.
And
okay.
once he is
So,
not a
the
bear
ritual we had
anymore, I
originally
can
talked
do that ritual that you have supplied me with
Okay.
the grass. And so there are two
Gotcha.
ways of doing that, at least two easy ways. One is feeding him a bunch of, people, and the other one is fighting him in physical combat.
Right.
Was this halfling anyway exceptionally skilled?
No.
Aside from some magical abilities, and he again gestures toward Wayman.
I still don't believe this is any more than a.
It was quite complicated for me to accept as well, but we sought the opinion of a specialist.
Who told you that this plant?
CD.
Oh, CD. Yeah,
Sheepmonger.
he's a good friend, actually.
It's well learned in the
Um,
world of plants and all of that.
Right.
Regardless, are we? I guess.
I guess we got to beat Jeffrey up.
Well, I mean, I could just like sling rocks at him from the top of the well. There's no need for us to actually go down there.
Right.
Like lay hands upon him.
That is pretty smart.
He seems to be at the bottom of like a small
Right.
well, right?
He's like,
there would not be much room for him to move.
shooting fish in a barrel.
Yeah, so werebears in a well.
Werebears in a well, yeah.
Yes,
It's got that
come and turn a
phrase. I like that. Yeah. I don't see why that wouldn't work. The well is only about 30-40 feet deep.
Sure. Are we convinced that this is our only means of progressing? I am concerned again, hypothetically, that there may be, that there could potentially be some much more severe circumstances which are involved in
on
this.
the account of the eldritch beings. Right. Well,
Yes.
I could suppress the outside influences on his brain, but I would need to be within touch distance
Of course.
when he dies.
Yes, and you could not be far away, probably, for the others to work.
Right,
there.
right. Well, but if we shoot him in the well and then fish him out within the 15 minutes, I think that would be
It's
all
like a
right.
round, pretty sure. They
Oh,
get
really?
for Revivify.
Really?
Yeah, pretty sure. I might be wrong, unless it's a different spell. Could always be a different spell. But yeah, anyway, so that's what I was worried. I was like 30 feet up the well. I don't know if we can do that. Like reeling in the rope. I don't know.
No, within the last minute. So
is that right?
Yep,
okay.
Yep.
Yeah,
Yep,
I'm
yep.
misremembered.
So as long as he isn't hypothetically cursed with some kind of eldritch being that can take control of an empty vessel, then I don't see why you can't just sling him to death in there. We could actually just fill it with oil or something and just drown him, right? Or drop a big rock.
Dropping a big rock, I'm not sure would be. I mean,
Yeah,
I doubt
'cause
that
then we
your
have to-
magic would recover that bit.
Yeah. Then wouldn't we have to dig him out from underneath the rock? Yeah, that doesn't seem
That
smart.
also would be a time-consuming process.
So look,
Scoop up all the bits and jelly.
we
That
can't
would be arduous.
guarantee that he's not going to turn into.
Yes.
So I wonder if maybe
As
because
no
I
one
have
can, because anything is always possible.
I've wrestled a full-sized werebear. How hard can a halfling werebear be? Right? Like I should be able to hold him up here.
That seems reasonable.
And then you can just sling at him anyways. And then that way he's right there and he can just touch him in case, some evil lich stuff starts happening.
We are all going to be werebears after this. I'm just saying. Right now. But when it happens, I call it.
It's all right. You have brought me enough bone grass that I can do rituals for everybody on the house.
That is quite understandable.
We'll just all get in the circle with your friend. Once we've got it, it's all figured out. It'll be all right. You pat your back. Now, I have to bring up that I've never seen someone turn into an eldritch monstrosity upon death. So I'm of the opinion that shooting him in the small dark tube we got him in now is a good idea. But if you're telling me that there is a larger chance of your halfling friend
I mean, you never know, and you'd rather be safe than sorry, I think, at this
always
point.
a possibility. Let's say again,
Yeah,
you
magic
and me,
is
who knows
very
what happens
real.
after we die with our bodies.
Right.
Nuts.
Right.
So I think that we go with the werebear wrestling part two.
All right. So if we're doing that, then we do have the other problem of how are we going to get him out of the well to wrestle?
The same way she will get down there, I imagine. A rope or something similar.
Right. So you're just going to go into the well with the bear.
I mean, there is not another way I am thinking of.
No,
he's asleep right now, right? Like he's sleeping down there.
Right. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, I can drop a rope down there and you can climb on down.
And tie him up and then we can try and lift him out of there.
Right.
I think that is. I
Unless
mean, you may have to knock him out while he is down there.
Right, and then you're stuck in a 5-foot circle with a 3.5-foot muscular He's basically a honey badger down there.
Sure, but I am still, I guess, there is
As
outside of just dropping him while he is down there, and
Right.
then going down and getting him, and then bringing him back up while he is like, bleeding out.
Right.
It
Put a
seems that
corner.
that is perhaps a greater risk
Right.
to Jeffrey.
Right. All right. Well, what's your names?
I said before, I am the Ochre Echo.
Right. No, I
Defender
got
of the
yours. What
downtrodden.
about you?
my name is Annabelle. You can call me Anna or Belle.
All right.
Are you in bad shape, Annabelle?
No, because we leveled.
Oh, okay. Do we get full health from that?
Yes. Yeah.
Sweet. All right, never mind then. I got
So,
a fancy healing spell, so I was gonna offer them.
well,
Alrighty.
keep those handy because, this could be
Yes.
a disaster.
Certainly, yes. If well, I suppose there's little else that we can gain by waiting longer here.
So Annabelle will tie the rope off to a tree,
Okay.
um, climb down the well, trying to be as quiet as possible to tie the miniature werebear up.
All right. And then Ochre Echo, what would you like to be doing?
He's just gonna probably stand on the rim of the well with 2 loaded up sling bolts
Okay.
and magic stone cast, just getting ready in case.
All right. Annabelle, roll me a stealth roll, please. All right.
Not good. He's sleeping at least, I suppose.
He rolled a 3. So your 9 beats that. So you land on the well. Jeffrey is in fact a bear. He is about 3.5 feet tall. So he grew maybe 3-4 inches in bear form. His arms are huge and muscular, as well as his legs and back. His head is a grotesque halfling shape that has been pulled out into a bear's muzzle. His teeth are very long and covered with loose lips. He's he is still missing a paw. The other strange thing you notice is that the staff is no longer in his other paw. It is coming out of his forehead, just the top 4 inches.
There's so much weird shit that happens around this fucking halfling. I'm like whispering as I tie him up, and then I'm gonna climb out of the well and pull him up.
All right, roll me another stealth check, this time with disadvantage. All right, as you finish tying the werebear off, he wakes up. He opens his eyes and sees you, Annabelle, as you're just grabbing the rope. He is restrained with some pretty thick ropes, but he is going to try to flex and bust out of here. He does not. He fails in the flexed in bust out of here. So he just kind of flops along the ground, his large bear muscles bulging.
Can I can I try and knock him back out?
Yes, he is restrained, so you have advantage on attack rolls.
I'm gonna kick
You
him.
wanted to wait until he was up here for that?
Well, then pull him up because he's awake.
I mean, I'm not probably going to be strong enough, I guess, to do that.
Right. So I gotta
But,
put him
yeah,
back to
that's-
sleep so I
Well, I
can.
don't. If he's tied up, you could just like climb up and carry the bundle of werebear, probably. But
That's true.
I don't know. I guess I'm not sure. I suppose that would be a pain, probably. I'm not sure how it really would work out. I can help somehow.
I would I be able to climb out of the well with a wriggling werebear?
I would make you roll strength checks to pull him up behind you. If you fail, you would
Okay.
drop him.
Okay. How deep is this well, did you say?
It's 30 feet deep.
Oh my god, that would kill him.
Wow. I mean, it would make him easier to reel back up.
If you need to make an action, or I'm gonna roll another strength check to see if he breaks out of the rope.
I can assist you, but you don't want me making this check. I don't think.
No, I will. Yeah, I'm gonna try and climb out first.
Okay. Are you going to bring him behind you, or are you just gonna climb out with him at the bottom, and then try to pull him up from the top?
Yeah, let's go with that second round. See if that works first.
Okay. All right. So you to climb out of the well with him struggling at the bottom, I need a athletics or acrobatics check. Nice. All right. So yeah, you basically just grab the rope and then launch yourself up out of the well with a 22 athletics check.
Okay.
So the bear is going to attempt another strength check. He still fails, so he is still wrapped up in the rope. All right. So Annabelle is standing at the well, top of the well with you, Ochre Echo.
I'm gonna stop pulling him up. Are you ready?
He nods and
All right. So you get a
stands
strength
back,
check
getting
with
ready to
advantage as he's helping you. All right, the 17, you are able to pull the wriggling Jeffrey 15 feet up the well. He's going to roll another strength check. All right. So as you get him 15 feet up the well, he rips through the rope and falls 15 feet. He takes 3d6 bludgeoning damage. Nine bludgeoning damage. Wow. He is angry at the bottom of the well. You guys fall backwards as the rope goes pew.
Well, that's mighty frustrating.
yes. I suppose I could just knock him out from here if it is going to be an arduous struggle to make this happen.
Right, but the worry of the eldritch monstrosities, which was why the large.
Sure, but if we keep dragging him up and dropping him and dragging him up and dropping him, he's going to be knocked unconscious regardless.
Yeah, regardless. So, I mean, I think at this point we just risk it to get the biscuit.
Right,
Nice.
and the biscuit being
Jeffrey out of the well.
right.
Yes, the object of our desire. Whatever that happens to be at the moment, I have learned.
Right. Okay. Well, if you're just gonna take pot shots at him,
First one, I guess.
all right. Yeah, first one hits. Binks off of his big fuzzy head.
Sec, there's another D4 that's gonna go on there.
Okay.
Psionic. Boom, the dreadful strikes. Delio.
He starts pawing his head. Right. A couple of guards come up to you guys as the roaring bear is making a lot of noise in the well. Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
What are you doing? What is in there?
A werebear. And he continues attacking.
That hits. And they look at each other.
Yeah. I suppose they probably would have done his favorite enemy at some point here too, which would be
Okay.
another D4, but or the favored foe, whatever they call it.
Wow. All right.
He's just gonna keep plunking until
Right.
it sounds like he's
All
unconscious.
right. Yep. You guys, you keep plunking, until you hear "Roar."
And she'll climb back down the well with the rope and tie him up and try and pull him back up.
15
Is he
feet.
a horrible eldritch monster? Just yelling down.
15 feet down the well, you see that Jeffrey's body has begun to change back into a halfling. But as it's changing back into a halfling, it begins to wriggle and writhe uncontrollably. You're 15 feet down right now.
Post haste. Faster.
Okay. I mean, you're just 15 feet up. You can just drop yourself if you'd like to.
Yeah.
All right, roll me a athletics or acrobatics
Why
check.
wouldn't you just climb down the rest of the way then?
Well,
if
I
it's
mean,
gonna
I
risk
just-
something, you wouldn't, right?
It's that or watch Jeffrey turn into an eldritch monster. I don't know.
Just
Like
cost
it's
15
gonna
feet
be
is gonna
fine, I
just
think.
cost the previous, I suppose, is all I was saying.
Yeah. See, you're fine. All
You're
right.
just trying to make it so he can land on it. That's crappy. That's some gotcha crap.
No, not at all. All right, yeah. So you land next to Jeffrey. And yeah, his body is wriggling. In the dim light, it's kind of hard to see the exact changes happening. But you can tell that it looks like he is changing physically again from Jeffrey to something else.
No, stop it. And she's gonna tie him up and she's gonna try and climb like with him this time, I guess.
Okay.
You have not said no, and I am concerned. He's like yelling down.
It's bad.
All right. So you are attempting to climb up the rope while pulling Jeffrey behind you. Ochre, you are able to help as you're gonna. I
Yeah, sure.
assume
He probably would. Yeah, as soon as
Right. Yeah.
she's making her way up the rope. Yeah.
All right. So go ahead and roll me a athletics check with advantage, Annabelle. I had 22. All right, that is enough. So you like, I'm not sure how you're doing this, but you like loop the rope around your waist and
I was
hoist
gonna say,
yourself
just tie
up.
the weight off it.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
Probably.
And you make it up. Your prestigious arms bulging. And you make it to the top, and you guys pull Jeffrey up. The guards take a step back as you see that one side of Jeffrey's body has elongated into like kind of a Slender Man form. His arm and leg are like a good 6.5 feet long, and spindly and spiky. The other part of his body is starting to decay and desiccate into what looks like some kind of dead flesh. The staff that was in his head and then in his hand looks to be trying to migrate towards his spinal column, and inside of his body. His teeth are chattering, and his eyes are in the back of his head. The wizard goes, or the warlock is like, "Whoa!"
You've got to stop
So
it.
you can handle this, correct?
He looks shocked and goes, "All right," and he puts his hand on Jeffrey's head, and he says a few words, and there is a green light followed by a purple light that pulsates under his palm, and then you see his eyes wide and goes, "Oh shit," and then there is an explosion. We are going to go to break. Thank you very much. Who is sticking around with us here? As you can tell, this is just another day in the Misadventures repertoire here. They're solving problems. All right, guys, we'll be back in about 15 minutes. So we will see you soon.
So you did mention theater of the mind versus always having maps out, and that's another thing. Not every DM is either willing or able to do a full theater of the mind combat system. And not every player is going to be okay with that. Some people want to see the actual layout. They want to see the images. They want to see the map. They want to see the distance. They want it all, particularly plotted, which is not a bad thing. You do need to know beforehand whether your DM is going to be doing that or not.
As a DM, I rarely map unless it's combat, but frequently combat's just a grid so that everybody knows how far away they are from everything. Though for me, because it's just keep everything straight, I think. As a player, I find it very difficult to, especially with the way combat and most of the abilities are structured in D&D, it's pretty hard to feel like I'm keeping track of exactly what all's happening and going on, and how close am I to this person in relation to this person, and stuff like that can matter pretty quickly sometimes, in some, depending on your campaign. But there are ways to run combat that totally don't rely on those kind of specific distinctions. You can kind of just do the bands, range bands of combat or something that they've introduced into these other systems that take away the specific what square am I questions. And yeah, that's a big difference in play, and how the spells and abilities your characters have translate into what you can kind of do during the combat, or during outside of combat, stuff like that.
Welcome to Big Seed's General Store. We have the largest selection of fantasy-based items on this side of the Greater Dandaris River. Why don't we go inside and check out what I have for sale? Let's go. We are now inside Big Seed's General Store. Let's see what I have for sale. Well, this sure looks like a fine selection. We have bananas, onions, dragon eggs, pajama pants, occult statues, daggers, dangerous animals, socks, small figurines, real fake daggers, diplomas, drink koozies, hammers, potatoes. Well, that's just a small bit of our inventory. So you should do yourself a favor and come on down to Big Seed's General Store, where we will treat you like you want to be treated.
As a player, you also need to know what type of game you want to be in.
Yeah.
Whereas a DM is saying, this is the type of game I want to run, let me find players that fit this.
Right.
As a player, you need to know what type of game you want to be in. And I think, it goes back to what I was saying, inexperienced players won't exactly know the terminology. So, basically the two sides of the spectrum is sandbox and railroad. And then everything in between, there's a place for you. And I think that's one thing is maybe some inexperienced players wouldn't understand exactly what those mean. So basically railroad, as you and I know, that's where the DM is going to tell you where to go in not so subtle terms.
Yeah.
Like whether they have, an interesting character walks into the bar and walks up to you, hey, I have a job for you. It needs to be done now. That's pretty much railroad. That's like, hey, here's a quest, go do it. Sandbox is no direction. DM's not going to give you direction. They're going to drop hooks at you. Subtle, sometimes blatant, but they're just going to drop a bunch of hooks. You're in a pond, they're going to throw hooks at you. You do what you want to do. You're in a tavern. They will describe the innkeeper. They'll describe some of the patrons. They'll describe, the environment. They'll describe the band that's playing, the bard that's singing. Some, people are walking in. It's this time of day. What do you want to do? What do you want to do? In a sandbox, I want to talk to this person at this table. I want to talk to the barkeep. I want to look at the board. I want to take part in the band. I want to get drunk. I want to go start a business. You don't have any given direction. There's anywhere you can go.
If you're playing a module, for example, that's probably going to be a little bit more of a railroaded campaign, just because of the necessity of, if you're going to stick to this, structure of plot advancement that's in the book, everybody's got to kind of understand and agree that, when a hook comes up that's clearly pointing toward this main plot line, we're all going to kind of go toward that. And I think that happens in sandbox games after a point as well.
Oh, yeah.
You get to a point where the party has dictated something's interesting to them, and then the DMs, backstopped that a little more and developed a couple more complications or conflicts that are centered around that aspect of the game. It's starting a business or whatever. That can start to become one of those greater arcs. Like, you can have a larger overarching plot that guides the action, and still have room for stuff where you can go off and do silly things in the meantime, where maybe every single action isn't time dependent, so you've got some free time or downtime or whatever that lets you work more along those lines. And so obviously these aren't like a binary one or the other thing.
If you're new, generally you would lean towards a railroad side. It gives you more direction. Because as a new player, you're not exactly sure what all of your options are. What can you do?
Right.
What should you do? I mean, do you want to go and talk to somebody? Do you want a quest? Do you want to do nothing? You don't know. You don't know. You're not given a list of things that you can do. As a player, depending on what you want to do, you need a DM that's going to be trying to run that type of game. If you want the direction, there's nothing wrong with that. If you want a story-driven direction, then that's fine. Find a DM that's doing that.
Right.
The world is full of danger. In every environment, there lurks hidden terrors waiting for their chance to strike. Dr. Gregory Parsnips and his team of hardy adventurers have faced some of the worst monstrosities the world has to offer. And lived. Read their harrowing tales and deeds in Dr. Parsnips' new book, a collection of tales detailing the deeds and courses of Dr. Gregory Arthur Parsnips and Company, featuring a multitude of terrifying and monstrous creatures with which conflict is had. Get your copy today.
Look. No, Sam. All right, fine. Captain, I promise. No, I'm taking this very seriously. I'm gonna do it. It's gonna be great. Don't worry. We're out here, under the authority of the king with an announcement with the intention of serving the public by the order of the king. I have been instructed to inform you that a small community of goblin refugees from the east have been permitted to live within the borders of the kingdom in compliance with the Green Ear Treaty signed 50 years ago. Which I gotta say, I looked into that and I just want to applaud the stunningly progressive language I found in there. We were only referred to as the murderous little green beasts 7 different times. Great job, everyone. Really, I'm just impressed. It continues. There is no cause for alarm, as the king and his court will be taking every precaution to keep you your family and your property safe during this trying time. Yes, because the goblins, that's... you gotta... Yeah, that's what you gotta worry about. No, definitely, that's it.
How should players go about determining what kind of style their prospective DM might be looking to implement?
From a player's perspective, there are some questions you should be asking your DM. The setting is a big deal. If you are talking to a DM who's running a setting that all their players, they're going to be joining sort of a guild or a company or a group of people that are like say a den of thieves or a pirate's ship or something. That gives you an idea sort of for the setting. Are they running a module? Are they running homebrew? Are they running some sort of mix? Are they using a pre-made world? Is it their homebrew world? And that'll give you sort of an idea of what they want to do. So what you need to find out is, are the sessions going to be encounter driven? I guess that's the best way to put it. Because asking them, hey, look, is every session going to be combat, or are we going to have opportunities to roleplay? It seems straightforward, but the main thing is, are they building their game to be encounter driven? If a DM is building their game to be encounter driven, then most of the time, not all the time, most of the time it's going to be that you need to defeat these encounters to progress.
Right.
That tends to let you know that it's going to be more combat oriented. Some DMs, and you need to ask them this question: can you solve, will they allow you to solve encounters or even combat encounters?
Right.
Can you solve these problems with roleplay?
Yeah.
Do you have that option if your reasoning and your roles line up? Can
Right.
you solve these things with roleplay? If the answer is yes, then they're allowing for more roleplay. If the
Right.
answer is no, which is fine,
Yep.
you're going to have to fight. That means
Yeah.
they want more combat. And I've been in games where I felt, as a charismatic character, that I could persuade some certain bad guys.
Right.
But the DM had the mindset that, hey,
This is
we have to have
rolled
combat
initiative. Yeah.
because it
like-
needs to be exciting.
Yes. Oh no, that's what I was saying. Is that's a really good way to phrase that, or to like come at that, is by saying, hey, so how often will I be able to talk my way out of whatever
Yes.
mess we find ourselves in, or you know, think my way out of, or you know, because my answer to that is, hey, if it's reasonable, like you're saying, and the dice line up and all that stuff, yeah, do it.
Yeah,
Whatever.
yeah.
There are no guaranteed combats, right? But I think there are DMs who are going to say, well, there's going to be some situations where you're fighting, the giants in this are just savage, mean monsters.
Yeah.
And they don't want to hear it, and they're not going to talk with you. And that's what you're fighting a lot of the time. So there aren't going to be a lot of situations where maybe you can, convince them that it's not worth fighting, or that there's a better alternative. And
Yeah.
and I think that is like a really important piece of information to get, and a good way to start to kind of figure out where your DM is as far as players
Yeah.
are concerned.
And like I said, there's no right or wrong. It's just
Yeah.
it's just finding your fit. It's finding your group. All of it's viable, all of it's fun. But if you want a combat oriented game and the DM is not doing that, or
Right.
vice versa, you're going to end up with some issues.
That makes sense.
You're going to end up not having fun, and that's the whole point of it.
That's not great.
All right, welcome back, everybody. Well, they have dragged the werebear out of the well after beaming him to unconsciousness. He's bleeding out. He's also turning into an eldritch monstrosity. Half of him was long and lanky slender man, the other half was zombie. The necromancer warlock touched the top of his forehead and began uttering a spell, and then opened his eyes and went, "Oh shit!" as an explosion happened. Um, everybody in the radius, roll me a dexterity saving throw, please.
Oh boy.
All right.
Not very good.
Nope.
Not
We're
great.
looking to get a 11 on that.
I got a
Could've been
4.
worse.
You did. All right. So Annabelle, you're gonna take all of this. Ochre, you're gonna take half, and the necromancer is gonna, I keep trying to call him necromancer. He's not. He's a warlock. He's gonna roll a.
He did say he specifically wasn't a warlock with a
That's true.
magic wagon and all
Right.
of that jazz. That whole shtick.
All right. So Annabelle, you take 25 damage. Ochre, you take 12, and the necromancer takes 12.
It's real good that I didn't take full damage on that. Because that's all my health. Or would have been.
All right. The guards have been exploded. They are like bits a few yards away from the explosion. Jeffrey is now just a bleeding out halfling. He is no longer an eldritch monstrosity. The staff is still in his hand, and he is breathing slowly. The necromancer sits up, his hair blown back into a large. Uh-oh. Did
I was gonna ask, our screen's
Yeah.
frozen, it looks like.
Yeah,
It's
why
been
is
stuck
that?
on that image for a bit. I don't know if that's
Wait.
there it goes.
There
It
it goes.
popped back
Okay,
in.
there we go. All right.
And
So yeah, the necromancer sits up and his hair's blown back. The warlock, keep calling him necromancer. He's not necessarily necromancer. Hair's blown back, and his beard is slightly singed. He goes, "Oh, what the fuck is this thing?"
who can say? As we said, anything is possible, obviously, in a world full of magic. As he's like standing up and coughing up smoke or whatever, I guess.
Part of the well is destroyed. You guys are kind of sitting in a small crater centered around Jeffrey's body. The necromancer scrambles forward and takes a small sliver of white crystal and breaks it over Jeffrey's form and says a few words and revivifies him. Jeffrey, oh.
Is Annabelle look? Echo's gonna look at Annabelle, kind of try and make sure that she's not dead. I suppose.
She's probably like on her hands and knees, just going, "Oh my god!" I'm at 10 life.
And then Wayman.
You look over and you see that the bush is, or the plant is on fire.
Oh my god!
Nice, not ideal.
You guys run over. Who would like to run over?
Yeah, Echo will go over there and empty his water skin onto it.
Okay. You empty your water skin, and you are surprised to see while the plant was on fire, it has taken no fire damage.
That is strange. He'll look back over toward Jeffrey. Is he good to go?
No. We ought to take him in my room, my house, and finish the spell to remove the werebear curse.
Right. I will help you carry him in there, and he'll.
That's very nice. He is about the size of a large child, so I
By
think
all means, he just gestures.
He's like, no, I think you got it, sir. I was gonna say I'm gonna leave this in your care. I think you took more damage or less damage than I did on that fireball.
I think we are both looking to be near half dead here. It is not worth quibbling about. I go and scoop Jeffrey up and carry him inside. Follow the dude.
Annabelle, you got the plant?
Yeah, I got the plant.
It's kind of hot right now. The ceramic of the bowl is very warm.
It feels nice actually. I'm a little bit sore.
You bring Jeffrey inside, put him on the table. He takes the bone grass, puts it in a mortar and pestle with a few other ingredients, grinds it up, and then sprinkles it in a circle around Jeffrey's bite mark. He begins to chant a few words and make hand signs above Jeffrey's form. The ground up bone powder material begins to glow a bright white light that comes off of the material in the table and wraps itself around the wound, and then slowly draws back, drawing what looks like green ichor from the bite mark. It removes it completely, and then there's a hiss, and the room, the light fades. The bite mark is still there, but it has been healed slightly, as if it's been healed, like been healing for a few days. And his breathing returns to normal. He weakly opens his eyes and goes, "Oh, what happened?"
I don't really think you want to know, Jeffrey.
You
Right.
exploded again.
You're gonna have
Yeah.
to leave town, as two guards are right now in pieces.
Are you sure you would not rather us stay and explain the matter rather than have them come across the exploded remains on your property?
Right. No, not unless you want to go to jail. And I don't want him in the city anymore. Right.
He is no longer a risk of the werebear situation, though, right?
Right. But I got a glimpse in his head. I know what's in there. And I don't think that any of the guards nor the government of Nail wants that anywhere near any of their cities.
Well, if you insist to take the rap for the whole two dead guards thing,
Oh,
by all means.
no. I'll be fine.
That is
All
concerning.
right.
But I suppose I will not question it too much.
Right. See, I've got evocation license.
Okay.
That is.
Is there any
Again.
chance you can heal me before we leave at least?
Right. He puts his hands up and he goes, "There you go. You're healed for a D4."
Thanks.
You want one? He turns to the Ochre Echo.
If it is not too much trouble.
Right. There you go. 4 HP for you, Ochre Echo. Right.
I suppose then good luck with your, I guess, accidental manslaughter. He shrugs and walks out with, kind of like dragging Jeffrey along.
Literally dragging him. He's very weak right now.
Yeah, sure.
He politely waves and says, "Don't come back."
We'll try.
Don't abuse your evocation license. And yeah, I guess we'll hit the road.
All right. You guys want to head north?
Whichever side of the town we're on. Stay outside of town, probably.
Okay, yeah.
Whichever direction that we're going, though.
Yeah. So you got a few choices here. Going to the Pearlandia map. Come on, Pearlandia map. There we go. So you were told that you have someone who might be able to cure Wayman in Folkstad, as well as remove the curse from Jeffrey somewhere in Volholm. There are a few routes that you can take. You could go north up to Della and down around Apo way, and then up through Folkstad in that way. This is very hilly and mountainous terrain, so many of the roads snake back and forth. Though Ochre Echo, with your very good tracking skills and track making skills, you can elect to try to go over some of these mountains and save yourself time. That would be something that you could do with some of the skills you got. You guys could also just go out of town to the north and then head south, going down to Villaran and then up to Rain and to Folkstad. Neither of you are from this area, and neither of you have been to Nail before, so you don't have any information about any of these towns.
I mean, I think going north is the best bet here.
Yes, it seems it may be a bit more direct. It is probably 6 of one, half a dozen of the other, though. And yeah, I suppose looks like up around north down to
Okay.
and down to Rain and then up to Folkstad. But I imagine we're
Alright.
not trying to spend any more time in towns than we have to.
I assume, seeing as how Jeffrey has exploded in another one now.
Yeah.
You guys get a few miles outside of Nail. Again, it's pretty dark outside now. And you can hear that the town alarm has started ringing, probably because of the explosion that happened just a few minutes ago. You guys leave heading towards the north. As you make your way up the path, you hear, "Wait."
Oh, Jesus Christ.
You guys turn around and see Sprig standing in the middle of the path behind you.
Is there something we can help you with?
She sighs. "Take me with you."
And why would we do that?
"Well, because I don't have anything left here. And the only connection I have to anyone that has shown me any kind of kindness is that you." She motions the Ochre Echo, "But not you. Do you understand?"
You repaid that kindness with betrayal. I am not certain what you expect from us.
"Well, I know. And I'm sorry."
And how are we supposed to trust you? How do we know that you're not here just to follow Ochre Echo around and kill him when it suits you best?
Is there any way that I can prove myself to you? Please. I tried to go back to crap.
Eris?
Eris. Yes, thank you. I tried to go back to Eris, but he threatened to kill me. Said he was going to kill me.
Yeah, I'm not surprised by that at all.
You understand that you tried to kill us earlier in this exact day, right?
Yes, just
And you
12 hours
definitely got our friend turned into a werebear. This whole situation is your fault.
There are several guards in town which were exploded because of your actions. He just nods.
right, but you've cured him now, so
At the cost of 2 guardsmen's lives.
I'm assuming I'm carrying Jeffrey, right?
I assume so. Yes.
Lame.
Hold out your arms.
She holds them out, unsure.
Are you ready? You better be nice and strong, because this is important.
I can take anything.
I'm going to drop Jeffrey into her hands.
Oh my goodness. She kind of goes to one knee, tilts back, and then slowly gets up, carrying him.
How long can you do that for?
8 hours of hilly terrain.
Excellent. That's the only way you're coming with us.
What do you say, Ochre Echo?
I suppose we have no beast of burden. It would be as good a job as any, I suppose. It will certainly not help me sleep more restfully, but I imagine we can figure out a way past this.
Jeffrey slowly opens his eyes, and he sees that he's in Sprig's arms. And he goes, Who are you? You've met me. You met me several times. Silly halfling.
Yes, she beat me up, you recall?
Oh, right. And then you talked in a funny voice.
Yes. He just nods like slowly.
Jeffrey kind of turns and looks at Sprig and goes, I've had a bad day. Sprig goes, I have too. I lost my father today. Jeffrey goes, I turned into a bear.
That is the least of what he turned into.
Yeah.
He also kind of died for a little bit there.
What?
Nothing.
It was just
He
a
just
little
pats
bit.
him on the head or whatever from whatever angle he's being held at.
I almost died.
No, you did.
Yes, there was no almost. We did successfully return you from the grave, though.
Yeah, and you're cured. You're totally fine now. Well,
Yes. It
mostly
seems that
fine.
death is something of a panacea in this world.
I wonder which one of us is gonna have to die next.
Hannah, what?
Panacea, it is a cure-all. Which, if you think about it, sort of, in a less literal sense, death is sort of the cessation of many sufferings. He shrugs. We ought to find somewhere to camp for the night, I believe.
Yes. I know of a pretty good campsite up the road here.
I am sure you do. We will find one of our own liking, though. He just, probably disregards.
Yeah. Annabelle's gonna nod towards Ochre Echo and be like, yeah, that's a good idea.
And
All
find
right.
a much shittier campsite.
Or-
I'm sure,
yeah,
as a result.
absolutely. Yep. All right. So yeah, you guys make camp, spend the night, and the next day, Sprig has been just kind of sitting outside of camp. She doesn't have a tent or anything like that. She slept up against a tree, and so when she woke up, she walked over and goes, "Hey, halfling, do you need me to carry you today?" And Jeffrey turns and goes, "Yes,
You should not have asked.
I'm so weak. I died yesterday." Right. Okay. How much farther is it to Della?
Oh, we are going to Folkstad. That is our next meaningful stop.
Folkstad? So,
You know,
are we not stopping in Della?
well, you see, he exploded in the last town we were in.
Exploded?
So, yes, he nods.
All right.
So it was quite violent. As I said, it killed 2 guards.
I can do this. I can do this. This is my new life now.
You have come to peace with it quite quickly.
I have
Don't think she
nothing
really
left.
had a choice. Yeah, she's just
There
gonna
is
be our
always a
pack
choice.
mule.
She could have simply left on her own.
That's true. I was kind of hoping that dropping Jeffrey into her arms would dissuade her. It didn't, obviously.
You know, I'm
Yes,
right
it has
here.
me a bit suspicious.
I
Yes.
Yes,
He
we
nods,
know.
staring at her now, finally look over. We get that. It is quite rude to interrupt people when they're having a conversation.
Sorry.
Just huffs and probably finishes packing up whatever cooking fire stuff they had going, I imagine.
All right. So you guys set off. how many days are you guys going to travel here? Let me see. Are you going to stick to the roads?
I don't think the Echo's super concerned about trying to save time by cutting through the hill
Okay.
country, but if Sprig seems like she's way back, well, I don't know. Probably don't trust her to lead us anywhere, but I don't know. What do you think, Annabelle?
I guess my biggest concern is like getting caught up on the road by some stuff, but
Probably
as
would
we
be
just
at least as likely for sure. Because, yeah, I imagine in this, yeah, if it's rough to pass throughout other terrain, then it's probably going to be pretty common to run into folks, banditing or what have you.
the positives of running into maybe some bandits is they might have like a horse or something.
That is likely. And perhaps on the road we could come across a trader or a merchant who is, able to spare us an extra horse.
Can buy their wagon from them.
That is true. Or perhaps come across the leavings of some bandits, which we can use to, sort of no longer needed wagons and things of that sort.
I don't know if I would like riding in a wagon.
I don't really care what you like right now, Jeffrey. I really don't.
Why are you mad at me?
It's unexplainable why I'm so mad at you, but you just
None of this is my fault.
somehow down the road, it's your fault.
Wait, hold on. I challenge that assertion, in fact. Did you or did you not grab this staff?
I was trying to
So,
help
yeah,
Cough.
you did, and
Oh.
you are. You just like...
Oh. Well, can I continue to be carried? You hear?
I have no concern with this.
No, I would really like if we found a cart and a horse.
Perhaps.
Yeah, we're gonna
Should
do
the
our
gods smile
best.
upon us as we travel across the road, we will find ourselves with both a beast of burden and a comfortable place to sit as we cross these miles. But until then,
all right. Well, you guys can travel about 30 miles a day. It's about 500 miles, 450 miles to Folkstad. So let me do a quick
it'll be like 2 weeks.
calculation. Yeah.
Maybe a little more. I'm not mathing too hard here, but
15 days.
Boom. Look at that.
That was
so
exact
math.
That's pretty freaking close there, right? Yeah.
Just mash numbers together in your head and guess. It's fine.
That's how we made it to space.
That was good. That was good.
Oh man. Yeah.
Not wrong.
Like,
All right. So, the first 4 days it takes you to get to Della are pretty hard on Sprig. Jeffrey is really trying to milk this getting carried thing for as long as possible.
That's what I was hoping for.
Yeah, not planning on helping her out with that. in
Yeah,
any
it's
way,
like a
shape, or
good
form.
punishment for
Every morning she wakes up and
It's a
goes,
loyalty test.
"Little halfling, can you walk?" And every morning you guys are woken up by Jeffrey going, "Oh no,
My legs.
I'm still very lightheaded from dying and turning into a bear."
That's right, Jeffrey. You need your rest. Annabelle yells from her tent.
And then
Or whatever.
exploded.
I think over one of the days, probably coming up on Della here, he would say, you would do better to just not ask him. He will always say he needs to be carried, from what I gather. But if you do not ask him, he may not feel strong enough to assert it.
I didn't know I was allowed to not ask.
Oh, no. I mean, we may still require that you carry him out of spite, but it is at least an option which you can feel.
That next morning, she doesn't ask him. So the morning you guys are approaching Della, she doesn't ask him. And she begins packing up camp, and he's rolling around in bed, going, "Oh, oh, oh." As she finishes packing up, she turns and looks at him, and goes, "What is it? I, I'm, I'm so weak." She looks at the Ochre Echo, like, pleadingly.
Just impassive, my mask face, staring at her unblinkingly, probably, though.
She sighs heavily and scoops Jeffrey up. He goes, that's so much better. Thank you. Can I at
Not
least
even have to ask that time.
we need you to can I get like some kind of sling or carrier? At
Oh, yes,
least?
like a baby Bjorn.
That would be so much easier. The swaddling of the halfling. How much do you weigh? Just 45 pounds. That's very fat for a halfling. What? No, it's not. Yes, that's very fat. You're 10 pounds overweight. It's
Echo's just like leaning over to Annabelle, like, this was an excellent decision on your part, I must say.
I thought you would like it. I thought that would be a nice present for you.
As you guys are approaching Della, there is a trader that is coming out. On his back, or in his cart, are a ton of potted plants of different shapes and sizes. He stops his cart and goes, "Whoa. Hey, excuse me. That's a beautiful shrub there."
Oh, I thank you. It's called Wayman.
Ah, yes, all good potted plants need a name. It's something I firmly believe myself.
No, like his name is actually Wayman. We didn't give it to him.
Yes,
Right
his
now.
parents called him Wayman first.
Right. Well, I have Frederick and Diane back here too, and they named themselves as well.
Have
like
you thought
looking
about
at-
having that looked at?
There is someone we have been sent to speak with to deal with just such an issue.
Wait,
Perhaps we could take your poor, I guess, cursed individuals
what?
with
No,
us
they're
along our
just-
journey.
They're just plants, but they name themselves.
Oh, that is ridiculous.
But no matter, may I buy that plant from you?
I'm gonna have to hard pass.
What about if
For
I
how
offered
much?
you? What if I offered you 20 gold?
Echo kind of looks over at Annabelle real quick. The slightest suggestion of like, but then quickly probably is like, no, that is our good friend Wayman. I am afraid we could not part with him for such a paltry sum.
Of course. No, I completely understand the social connection with plants.
Yes.
I myself have married two of them.
Right.
Okay,
We're
that's
definitely
just...
not going to sell you our plants now.
Well, I might have something that could help.
Do you have like a carrying device for
Yes.
potted plants? Oh my
He
god. He
goes
looks
into
over
the
at Annabelle
bag
and like
he
grabs her
comes out.
shirt.
He comes out. It's about the size of a little red wagon. And it is a strap to go over the top, because this will also count as a secured load for any town ordinances in the country of Nail. They're very
Does it-
strict on that.
Does it require a red flag hanging off the back of anything over the edges? Or...
Yes, it does.
He nods, of course.
Excellent. And Annabelle's gonna set the plant in the wagon and like buckle it in.
Yeah.
And then she's gonna like turn and like wink at Sprig.
Why? Why? Can we put the halfling in the wagon?
Well, we would
no.
it would not
It's
fit
not
in-
designed for halflings. It's only for potted
Certainly.
plants.
And I mean, you could only, it does not appear that there is much room now that the plant is in there.
But what? How much does a plant weigh? Like,
We
6
would
pounds?
not want it to become top heavy. Then it will
Right.
become a tipping hazard.
And I don't
Find
want
ourselves running
to
a
ride
farm.
in the wagon, Sprig. I want to continue to be carried.
Echo just kind of like extends a hand and toward her shoulder or wherever he's carrying it.
Right. Well, the potted plant salesman tips his hat and goes, and I'm gonna give that to you no charge.
That is quite kind of you. Wayman will certainly appreciate it.
Well, I appreciate fellow plant lovers that really get plants. So think of that as my way of saying keep the love alive.
You
We
said
will.
plant lovers, and I think perhaps something different than I normally would.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He just narrows his eyes at him a bit.
It leaves you guys. All right, so the town of Della is below you. You have a little plant wagon now.
That is quite nifty.
You just hear,
I suppose maybe one of us should maybe try and find a little backpack type deal for her at least. Maybe.
Perhaps, yes. Of course, it is not especially safe to be bringing Jeffrey into the confines of the town.
Well, I think that I would leave you guys and I would
Oh.
just pop in for a second just to see if they had anything. Try really hard not to engage in anything going on in this. I'm sure there's something going on in this town, but I will do my best not to mess with it.
Certainly. Best of luck. Do you have whatever coin you will need for this task?
Yeah, I do.
He nods. Well then, let us find a nice shady spot for myself and Sprig here to rest while we further investigate the backpack situation.
all right. So you guys find a big shade tree a little ways off the path, and Annabelle, you head down into town. You approach Della. Come to the gates are open, but there is a line of traders outside, and they're all arguing and protesting over something that's happening inside the town.
Annabelle's just gonna walk on by.
All right, you walk on by. You see that near the gate there is a man that's on top of a like a stand in front of all the traders, and with a megaphone going, "We will not be held prisoner by the evil mayor. We will fight, fight." You are into town, and are immediately stopped by a man in a long black cloak. He holds up a glass eye in a pendant and goes, "Would you like to buy this?"
No.
Are you sure? It's a very rare, cursed object that is fated to.
Do you have a lot of success with this approach?
You would be surprised. And he
You're just
moves
like,
off.
you want to buy this cursed object, and people are just like, yeah, totally.
Oh God.
So, like, how long of a walk is it to the next town?
About 2 days. You are in this town. You're in town.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah. You made through the gate, and you were immediately accosted by the guy trying to sell you that. But you're in the market district right now.
Are there any markets open, or are all of the traders?
Nope, these are out of town traders that are protesting. The shops inside are still stocked.
Okay. I'll just go up to the first one.
All right. She is a portly woman, and she greets you sweetly. Hello.
Hi there. Do you happen to have, like, I think maybe a baby bindle might be the best way to describe what I'm looking for?
I did. I did.
Okay, you don't anymore.
No. Unfortunately, all of my baby bindles were with my brother. He has been captured by goblins.
All right, have a good day. And she'll go to the next shop.
Go to the next shop. It's a crotchety old man. He's, hello.
Hi there. Do you have any baby bindles?
Funny you should ask. I am currently building the best baby bindle ever in the world, but I'm missing one key ingredient.
What's that?
On top of a mountain, 25 miles to the northwest of here, lies the nest of the great phoenix.
All right, bye-bye.
But wait. Go to the next shop. You walk inside. There's a man sitting there, and he's crying deeply while holding a piece of paper that he keeps reading over and over and then crying again.
Nope. Bye. She will just book it back to the tree and sorry, there's no bindles.
Wow, in an entire town. That is surprising.
It was crazy. It's like every shop I walked into, somebody needed something. It was insanity.
That is odd. It seems that there is some sort of hubbub going on near the gates.
Yeah, I don't know what that's all about either. I told you I was not gonna get involved. We could have ended up 25 miles away from here up a mountain, but we're not.
It's quite fortunate that you did not. Did you consider just purchasing a normal backpack by any chance? We could just like cut leg holes in it.
No, I didn't. Didn't even cross my mind.
Is there any way that you could go back into town and
Absolutely
no,
not.
this opportunity has passed us by.
Oh,
It is too late.
It's okay. I like getting carried. I know you do, little halfling. I know you do.
So around the town, perhaps Rain will have a better situation.
Poway.
Oh wait, yeah, sorry, I skipped one.
Yep.
That's
So
funny.
yep. All right. With that, as you guys are heading down to Poway, we are going to end the session there as Annabelle has skillfully dodged all of my plot hooks that I left just dangling in that last city. All right, guys. Well, thank you very much for being here and watching the stream. We do this every Friday till about 11:30, and depending on how much they foil my plans. Yeah, we also have a stream on Mondays called The Darning Watch, where it's a little bit more lethal. I kill a few more characters. We also have a stream every other Tuesday. We had one last Tuesday and it was a blast. I found out that my character is only alive because he is fueled by the blood of the faithful.
So a god experiment.
Right, and I'm a god experiment. Yeah, I'm Mark II in trying to recreate God. So that's cool. I'm enjoying that campaign. I'm not the DM, I'm a player, but yeah,
it's a fun one.
It's a good campaign. That's put on by my good friend Kyle. And then on Thursdays, every other Thursday, though we're gonna skip this next Thursday, we do Table 13, which is a ask it or an advice show about tabletop RPGs. I am running right now for interested parties in the Irrational Radio Discord server, Chiron's Goblins, which is a repeatable 5e dungeon that I have run maybe 6 times now, and each time it's been a blast. If you are interested in joining in a group and role playing with me for a few sessions while you pop some goblin heads, join the server and take part. Otherwise, we do have a website where you can buy some of our merchandise, as well as a Patreon where you can throw us a few more bucks to make this even better. thank you guys so much for watching, and have a good night, everybody. Goodbye.